What's up everybody, my name is Jonathan, aka Klein Guy John. Welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a special tool that I use from time to time whenever I'm in a really tight, hard to reach areas when I'm working on either on a ladder or even possibly where I just have to go through the frustrations of screwing the screw to a 1900 box. Well, there's a specialty tool, and I'm going to show you guys right after this intro. This is Klein Tools screw holding screwdriver. Now, what these tools do is basically they help hold your screws while screwing down or setting screws into like electrical boxes. You know, either you're working in an area where you just sort of have to put back some screws onto a panel, or certain devices, or that require screws to hold their cover plates, or basically you just need something just to hold your screws while you're working. And Klein Tools makes these screw holding screwdrivers in both a number 2 Phillips and a 1/4 inch slotted version that they have as well. If you're one of those guys that tend to use a lot of slotted screws, and you just don't have the magnetism of your screwdriver to do the job, you got, let's say for instance, that right here is a Klein Tools number 2 Phillips. And usually you all know that when it comes down to screwdrivers, some of us demand a screwdriver that has a magnetic tip. Well, some of these screwdrivers don't have them. And as you can see, I'm putting up this fastener. See, I set the fastener in number 2, let's say, and let's say that I'm just like, okay, it's sitting in. See how it just sits and got a little bit of a wobble. It's got a bit of a wobble when you move it around. Got a bit of a little space, so it's not really sitting in all the way, right? And then when you want to try to set it, let's say you can't use your hand to guide the screw. You're in a tight, hard to reach area, and you just want to reach and screw into the work surface that you're working on. Maybe you want to set a box in place. You want to just set the screw. And when you reach over, oh, you're shaking. Oh, there goes the screw. It fell. Then you got to go grab another screw. You grab another screw, you put it in place. You try to reach, but you're shaking around. Oh no, look, I dropped another screw. You're taking too long. Just taking too long to do the job. You're using a screwdriver that maybe you just don't have time, or you don't have a magnetizer to magnetize your screwdriver. So what do? Well, here's your solution. Klein Tools makes these screw holding screwdrivers, so that way you have that frustration-free, a frustration-free tool to work with. So here's how it works. You got your screw. You got a number 2 Phillips head screw, right? Your wood fastener. And you want to, like, okay, well, I don't have a magnetizer. I got to get over, a bulkhead, and I got to reach over and set the screws so I can set a box, electrical box or what have you. So you grab a number 2 screw holding screwdriver, and you see how it works is it has this plastic sleeve that covers and surrounds the screwdriver, but at the end of it you have a little space, a little cutout here. And this cutout, what it does is that you push up the sleeve, and it helps put in, you can just easily slide in the screw, and then what you do is you just sort of let the sleeve retract back and sit right on the number 2 pencil. You just feel for the head. If you can't see it, you can feel for the head and fit it in. And as you can see, it's holding the screw. It doesn't fall. You can put it in any angle. You don't got to worry about the screw falling out of your screwdriver. Very easy to use, and it's so handy. Now, depending on the size of the head of the screw, For instance, what I have here is, I have here a combo head 632 machine screw. Now these screws are normally used when you're setting in, like, let's say, receptacle outlets or switches. You normally see these screws on both, on the top and bottom of the device, and you need to set them in place, screw them into the box so that they're well mounted and they don't move around. So let's say I have this head, and as you can see, the rounded head is very small. And if you notice here, right, the spacing around the screwdriver, I just pointed out to you right there, the spacing is quite large. So if I was to put this 632 screw, right, let's say I push it up, which, by the way, how I'm doing this is, it's got a little place for your thumb to just sort of push it up, and as you push up, you'll see it's open, so you can easily slide in the screw and then set it. But in this case, you can't really set it. It won't sit in. The screw literally goes through the notch, so it's not small enough. That's the one thing that Klein may have possibly dropped the ball on this type of screwdriver. But in any case, I can see why, because you need enough space. I can see why. You need enough space for the screw, the Phillips head, to sort of fit through. So in this case, you might as well start using this normal screwdriver, but it hugs it pretty well. As you can see, I can just set it like this, sideways. It hugs the screw. It hugs it onto the head of the screwdriver. It sits in really deep, really tight, really well in there. So there's no worries about that. Not to like Parker screws, combination head screws. You can easily set this in there as well. Let me show you here. So now you got the notch. I'm going to push it up. As you can see, the Phillips head is now inside the plastic sleeve. You can now easily take your screw, put in the screw head, slide the screw head in, and then just feel your way for it. There you go. Now it's set in place, and now you're ready to go. Now it's recommended not to use the screwdriver all the way to the point where it hits the surface of the sleeve. It's best that when you're screwing it in, you're just setting it. You're just using to set the screw. Now, if you want to use its full potential, what you do is, after you set the screw to a certain, a couple of threads in, you get it into the, the threaded hole of your work, or into a box. You want to just take it out, slide it out, and then use the rest of the head to just sort of, use it as a regular screwdriver. You can screw it all the way in. You can even hold it with another hand, let it spin. It spins around. Pretty cool. Very useful. Guys, these tools come in very handy. I highly recommend having these tools in your tool bag. It may come in very useful and very handy in the future. Now, some of you may say, well, Klein guy, we know about these screwdrivers. I don't use them, or I do use them every day. Not everybody knows about these type of screwdrivers. Understand this, we got new guys every year, probably every day of every year, of every month. We get new young, tradesmen come in, and some they're just coming in as helpers and apprentices. They don't know all the tools. They don't know there are tools like this that exist out there that could really help benefit them in the trade and in the work environment they're in. And tell me what you think. If you own a pair of these tools, these screw holding screwdrivers, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, I'll leave a link in the description down below for more information about these tools and where you can purchase them. And as always, guys, take care of yourselves, work safe in the job site, look out for one another, watch each other's backs, help one another out, and I'll see you guys all on the next one. Later, everybody. You like that video? Why don't you smash that like button down below. Also, if you got any questions, you can comment down below. If you want to see some tool reviews, tool demonstrations, or even some job site tag-alongs, then what are you waiting for? subscribe. Till next time, guys. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you on the next one.